Hey everybody! Welcome to the Crafty Chemist. If you're watching, if you're on, say hi when you pop on. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay so that I know you watched. I'm going to take 1 second and share this to the group. Is everybody having a nice day today? I'm going to pop it down a little bit so I can see, because we're going to be close in. Good morning. Hi Dawn, hi Jean, hi Mom. Hi Karen. You're working on the quilt. I'm working on my quilt too right after this. I just pinned it up, the last border, right before the live, and I'm going to sew the border on, and then I'm done with the top. Happy Mother's Day to everybody who is celebrating. Hugs out to all of you who this may be a difficult day. I hope it's a nice day. Here it's kind of rainy. Oh my gosh, you're done with the top already? You just started that. That's fast. We had an amazing brunch today down at Conway Farms with Megan and Henry's family. I don't know, it was the most amazing buffet that I've ever seen. I mean, it was wonderful. So we're very fortunate, and we were fortunate to be able to spend time with Megan and Henry. And then they were also able to spend time with Henry's, mom. So we all went together. So that was really nice. Hi, Diana. You got your stuff ready to go? Let's get started, because I want to make a couple of these. So let's see if we can get a couple done. That's how easy they are. So this is what we're going to be making today. I'm calling them floating squares cards. I don't know if it has an official name, but I thought that's kind of what they look like. And I've got 2 different samples here. This one, I'm just using cardstock. And this one, I used the Tutti Frutti collection, which I thought was kind of a fun summertime look. So, if you're new, my name is Maggie Workman. I am the Crafty Chemist. If you like any of the things I talk about today, you can go to my website at thecraftychemist.closetomyheart.com or scan the QR code. It should take you right there. I am going live from my Facebook business page, Crafty Chemist Designs, where I post products every day. I do have a Facebook group, The Crafty Chemist Presents CTMH, that I invite you to join. There you can post your artwork. If you make one of these cards, please post your work so we can all see. I also try to post updates, like things maybe that come back in stock, any news, all that kind of stuff I post on there. I do have an Instagram and TikTok at Crafty Chemist Designs. I post Instagram pictures every day. Almost every day I post a reel or in a TikTok video. So check out that. I have, they're like really quick, minute and a half, working through a project is usually what it is. And then I do have a blog, periodically crafty.blogspot.com. The latest blog is on this month's collection called Hey Handsome. Okay, I dropped a link to the blog. So let's get started. Again, this is what we're making. And I've seen people make cards like this, but I've also seen people make, like, say, a 3-inch strip across the bottom of their scrapbook page, which I thought looked really, really nice too. This is inspired by Laura Beecham. She posted a card like this, I don't know, I want to say at least a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. And I think every single Close to My Heart maker has made this card and posted it into the makers Facebook group. That's how popular this is. So I wanted to try it out like everybody else. And then when I saw how easy it was, I wanted to share how to do it with you, because I think it's a really fun technique. So shout out to Laura for introducing us all to this. So let's get started. You can craft along if you want to. It's really, really easy. And one great thing about this card is that you're literally using your scraps. So you can go into your scrap bag and pull out, several coordinating pieces of cardstock, paper, zip strips, whatever you want, and put them together. So you're really using up, it's a good way to use up a lot of your product. Okay, so here is what you need. Basically, you just need scraps. And then I am using, and I know it might not be easy to see on here, but I'm using a piece of, actually it's transparency film. So I have a box of this left over. I'm a teacher and we always use transparencies, right? And so I have this box that's, left over. That is what I'm using. If you have acetate, you can use that. You can also use like plastic from, if you purchase something that's got plastic, but I wouldn't use like flimsy plastic, like a plastic bag. I mean, it potentially could work. It's going to be harder to cut and tape up. But if you have something that has thicker plastic, I'm thinking like the cover on the box of Barbie. You know how Barbie has that plastic cover? That's, from what I remember, that was a little bit thicker, those kinds of things. So you really can use anything that's pretty thick. So I'm using a 3-inch piece of this. Okay, I'm going to try and make it. So this is a 3-inch piece. So I'll just show you. This is actually one that has paper attached. That's to help it go through the copier, I think. But I'll show you here. I'm just going to cut a 3-inch piece. I mean, truthfully, you can make any size. This is how Laura did it. You could probably do a 4-inch piece, and you can even do a 2-inch piece. I'm going to try a 2-inch piece maybe later if we have time. It just depends on what you want. You'll get more strips if you use a 3-inch piece than if you use a 2-inch piece, because we are going to cut these into 1/2-inch strips like this. So if you make a 3-inch piece, you will have 6 strips like this. If you make a 4-inch piece, you will have 8 strips like this. So, you can even do a 12-inch piece if you really want to. Although these are 8.5. These are 8.5 by 11. So my piece is 3 inches by 11. Okay, so you just need one of these. Now, if you don't have acetate or transparency film or something like this, you can use just regular paper. And I'm hoping to make a second one that I'm going to use regular black paper. So if you don't have acetate, don't worry, you can still craft along. Just cut a piece of a 3-inch piece of regular paper. Okay, so give it a try. Okay, and then what you need is 3-inch strips of paper, okay, by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to cut a few, but this is what you need. This is why it's really great for scraps. So, you know, if you have 3-inch piece, even by 1 inch, by 1/2 inch, it's perfect. You can also use zip strips. So here's some zip strips. And if you don't know what zip strips are, close to my heart, at the top of our paper, our pattern paper, there is this little strip that's decorated on one side, but the back has the name of the paper pack it comes from. I'm trying to get it so you can see it on. Name of the paper pack, actually even the product number, and then all of the colors that are in it. So these are perfect to use. And I mean, look at this. I have a million of these. So just find ones that coordinate and use those. Then you don't even have to use scraps. I mean, these are kind of scraps too. I'm thinking about making some Christmas cards with some of my scraps here. So we're just gonna cut these, and I guess we need about, let's see, if you're doing a 12-inch piece, you need about well, 1/2 of that would be 6 inches. So is that maybe 12 pieces? We'll count when we do it, but so you need about 12 of these of different colors. And it's best if you use a variety of colors. Like, I wouldn't just use 3 zip strips and, you know, alternate them. I mean, you could, but you can see the more colors you have, the easier it is to spread out the design, so you don't have like 2 yellows together or 2 blues together or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to cut some. And you can see I'm going to use I have some scraps from the what was this collection called? This was, here it is, Daisy Daisy. So I have some scraps from Daisy Daisy and a couple other zip strips. But this is a scrap from Daisy Daisy. I thought I had some, here's a scrap. Oh, here's a scrap. And then there should be one more because we have 3 pieces of paper. Here it is. It's stuck underneath my black. Okay, so here's the scrap. So let's cut some. So what I did when I made mine is, you know, our paper pack comes in, most of them are 3 papers, 2-sided designs. So you can get 6 different designs from one paper pack. Okay, so I'm going, this is a 3-inch piece that I just had. And then I'm going to cut these into 1/2 inch pieces and then set them aside. Set it here. Okay, so that's one piece. Okay, this one I need to cut it. I'm going to do it this way. Cut it into 3 inches and then 1/2 inch. The smaller they are, the harder it is to. I like this one. I thought that these colors would be pretty for spring, this Daisy Daisy. That's why I wanted to use this. Okay, so here's a 2. And then this one, let's cut it to 3 inches. And truthfully, I don't think it matters the direction. Like, I was trying to think, do I want the stripes going, you know, this way, or do I want them going this way? It actually doesn't matter because you're going to cut them into those small squares. So, you know, you really won't be able to tell. Okay, so I've got two pieces here. And then that was all the paper. And then I had some scrap solid, the coordinating cardstock. So here's a 3-inch piece. Let me cut one of those. And you know, our paper is two-sided, a dark and a light side. So that's why I just cut 2 pieces. I'll cut from each side. So you have, it's really 2 different colors then. Here's a pink. This is flamingo. And so, like I said, what I did is I cut the 6 different pattern papers, and then any of the coordinating cardstock that I might have had left. And then this is a zip strip. This is a zip strip from the Daisy. So I'm going to cut a 3-inch piece of this. I only had one of the zip strips. I must have used the other ones in the layout. So here's one. Well, I have this piece, so I want to see if it's big enough. Oh yeah, it's 3 inches. So the colors in the Daisy were flamingo, ballerina, clover, evergreen, and black. This one is actually not from Daisy. This is from Life's a Hoot, but I thought it went nicely. I kind of went through my zip strips to see ones that coordinated. I think this is green apple, but I think it'll go nicely. And then I wanted to throw a black one in here. Okay. Oh, and here's ballerina. I've got some ballerina. Let's cut this one too. And again, you may or may not use all of these, but it's nice to have them cut. Then you can use them for the next one. What I did to make this card is I literally took every single one of the Close to My Heart colors, and I actually had some scraps from every single color, so I just cut a 3-inch by 1/2-inch strip out of every single color. And so that's why I have so many of these left over. Actually, this is from the, because I cut every color. Okay. I'm going to use these on when I use the paper, the black. I'm going to do this on black instead of the acetate, but I wanted to show you how to cut those. So is everybody following along with me? You just need several, like I would say around 12 pieces that are 1/2-inch by 3 inches. You can use zip strips, you can use paper scraps, whatever. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. I might put a, well, we'll see how it is. I know you can't see it because it's clear, but here I have the acetate on here. You know what, I was just thinking, I have that paper pad, but I don't know where it is, so we'll still go with this. So what you're going to do is take this and you're just going to adhere it to the top and just randomly pick colors. And I tried to make them kind of different, right? You don't want to put 2 that are very close in color together. But again, you can do whatever you want. So this one, this looks like desert rose. So let's start with the desert rose. And then you just take your adhesive, and then we're going to adhere it to the very top of our 3-inch strip. Okay. And you want to make sure that you get adhesive all the way across, because we are going to cut these into small pieces. And so if you miss something when you cut it into small pieces, doesn't look like I got it all the way. It won't, it might not be glued down very well, right? Once you cut it into 1/2-inch strips. Okay, let's see, I put the white underneath. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so let's do the next one. Let's do this one. This looks like rosemary, maybe. Now here's the important part, is you want to skip like a 1/4 inch. That's why having these marks on my Versamat are really nice. Okay, because you want to leave a little bit of space in between. And that's the important part. Okay. Okay, now let's do like a bright color next. Let's do this. This looks like capri. Who's trying this? Who's what's the expression? Trying their hand at it? Who's trying their hand at it? Because again, you will be surprised at how easy this is. I'm hoping to make 2 cards, but we'll see. So I'm just adding these right in this random order, and in between I'm skipping 1/4 of an inch. Now you see here how I don't know if you can see, but I didn't get adhesive right at the very end there. Now if I cut off a 1/2 inch, there may not be enough adhesive to, keep that tape down when you cut it. So you want to make sure that you slather it on. Okay, it is nice to have kind of a pop of color every once in a while. So I'm going to put this red. Let's see, I want to make sure I have Seabrook, because that's the color of the base that I was going to use. So, okay, let's put a Seabrook here. I have seen people do this even with like a 1/4 inch strips. You can also do it with, say, like 3/4 inch strips. I haven't tried the 1/4 inch strips, though that just seems a little bit crazy to me, but the card is gorgeous if you do that. Okay, let's see. This is espresso. Okay, let's try this. So I'm just trying to go all the way down. That one I didn't get quite. Like I had some on the edge there. Okay. And again, my piece is 11 inches because I used the transparency paper. But if you have a 12-inch sheet, you obviously go down to the 12 inches. Let's see. This is Mist. Our paper colors are so amazing. We've got such a variety of colors. I mean, look at this. Let's throw a green in there. This is green apple. I can feel my tape is getting to the end. Uh-oh. Might have to go to my ATG, which, yeah, it's done. It's done. I do have the blue tape, so we'll try this, but I'm not a fan of the tape so much because I feel like I get it everywhere. I don't know why, but okay. Let's see what color. I'm going to do a darker. This is grape. Yeah, it's your shock. And I don't have any more. I don't have any more of the dots tape. Can you believe it? Because, you know, I went to that crafting weekend where I used a lot. I'm going to flip it up here so you can see it better. Getting down to the end. And I thought I went to Michael's and purchased one, but I literally do not see where it is. I thought I got a 3-pack. Okay, one more. Let's do this. I think this is Harbor. Okay. Okay, there you go. And I actually got right to the very end of my piece. So on here, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of these strips. And look, I've probably still got enough to make, you know, another one. Okay. Okay. So here it is. Doesn't this look kind of fun? Now, here is the next part. I did pretty good keeping it on the adhesive. You can see that maybe at the very edge there's a little bit, but that won't matter. Okay. Now you take this, and this is 3 inches. We are going to cut this into 6 pieces that are 1/2 inch. So now we're just going to cut these into 1/2 inch. Okay, so they're 1/2 inch wide, and now they're 1/2 inch tall. Okay, so we're going to cut 6 strips. So like I said, if you make your squares 3/4 of an inch, then you would want to cut them into 3/4 of an inch strips. So you would need to take that into consideration with how wide you're making your pieces. Because let's see, if you make 3/4 of an inch strips, so 3/4, 1.5. Well, so you could do that. It would be 3. It would be 3 inches. It would come out even. Okay, so this is 4. Now this last one. Okay. So there we go. We've got 6 strips like this. And we're going to turn this into this card. That was not hard, was it? So you'll see the trick of this is that there is space between them, but it's on acetate, so you can't really see that on this card, right? So in here, you can't really see that there's acetate in between these squares. So it looks like you sat there and individually placed 1/2 inch squares on there, which you did not, right? They're on strips, but you can't really tell that on here, which is what makes people think that it's so hard and that, you know, you did such an amazing job. It's kind of a trick of the eye because these are on the acetate. Okay, so now what we want to do is so on this card, I have the background piece. This clover color is a 4.5 by 5 4.25 by 5.5 regular card front, regular A2 size. The white piece that's underneath is 4 by 5.25. So you want a piece of cardstock that's 4 inches by 5.25. Okay. Okay? So here comes the fun part. So now what we're going to do is we are going to lay these on the diagonal. Okay? And so I'm going to lay them like this. You start on the, from corner to corner. Now on these ones, I put them a little bit, I put these ones like 1/8 of an inch apart, and then 1/8 of an inch apart on here. I found that it's easier on the mats to do a 1/4 inch in between, so this one's a little bit tighter. So I started from corner to corner. You can see this one goes from here to here. Okay, this one, if you do it from corner to corner, you end up with like the corner being white. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about. Like if you go right from corner to corner, having it spaced out 1/4 of an inch, it doesn't quite go all the way to the corner. So I do it, I did it just askew so that they match up. So see how I did it here? It's just kind of bracketing the corner. Okay? So, now, when you tape this down onto this card, let me give you a little bit of a warning. On this one, this was my first one I made. I just took my adhesive and ran it down right along this strip, okay? The problem is that if you look really closely, on some of them you can see the adhesive because, I used dots adhesive, so I can see the little dots in between here. I mean, it's really hard to see, and truthfully, if you gave that to somebody, they're not going to see it. I see it because I know it's there. Okay, so what I did on this one is I only put adhesive on the backs of where the paper is, okay? So, let's see. And if you start, like I'm going to start from the very end here to maximize my use of these squares, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go from here to this espresso color. And then I'm only going to put adhesive. Now see that one, I kind of ruined it. It's a little bit harder with this stupid tape. This is why I don't like tape. Although truthfully, I think with the tape, you might not see it as much. Let me make sure I've got tape on everything. Okay, it looks pretty good. You might not see it as much because you don't see the dots. It's not dots, it's more flat tape. Okay. So again, I'm going from the bottom to the espresso piece. And there is some tape there. I'm going to try and get off just because it's a bubble. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go to the next piece. It'll make me feel better. Okay. So here we go. We're going to lay it from corner to corner, making sure that the corner of this piece, you see I have on the edge, and then the corner of this piece I have on the edge. Okay? Okay, now let's do the next piece. And so now when you do the next piece, I usually like flip it over and then kind of alternate it, a little bit. And then what you want to do is you're going to place it about 1/4 inch away, and then you want to try and line these up. See how these pretty much are all lined up along the edge, okay? The more you try to keep them in a line, the better it will look. Okay? Does that make sense? right? If you try really hard to just keep these lined up. Okay, so I'm going to go from, let's see, I'm going to go from this mint to the pink. So let's try and add tape to that, mink to the pink. And this is one reason why I think doing it on paper instead of on acetate makes it a little bit easier, because you don't have to worry about, right, that tape showing through. Let's see how this is a little bit, it's just a little bit too low. I don't like the placement there. I want these to be lined up really nicely. Okay, kind of happy with that. Okay, let's take the next one. And again, you want to try and alternate the colors. Okay. So I'm going to go from this desert rose to the red. And so one thing you want to try and avoid is having like little pieces of white at the edge. And you'll see what I'm saying when you try it. So make sure that you aren't leaving any like little white pieces. Okay, now let's go on this side. Okay, so I'm going to go from the mint to the red. And again, you want to try and make sure that you're kind of alternating your pieces, the colors, so they're not in the same row. Okay. Line them up, and again, you want to try and make it a 1/4 inch away. And make sure that you still got this line lining up this way. Okay? How are we doing? Tell me how you guys are doing. Somebody make a comment. Okay, let's see. I don't want all that pink together. Okay, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna go from mint to the brown, to the espresso. How many people thought it was a lot harder than this? Tell me if you thought it was harder. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Oh, I need to get a little bit on this harbor here. It's going to be, oh shoot, I put it on the wrong side. Okay, there's like a little bit of piece there. Okay, there we go. And now I've got one more piece, and then we'll have to cut them apart. Okay, I like it this way. So I'm going to go from the desert rose to the red. Did you think it was going to be harder, Dawn? Yeah, it's not. It's really super easy. Okay, okay. So now I'm out of strips. That was 6 strips. So what I'm going to do is cut the extra pieces off to finish off these last couple spaces, okay? And so I just kind of turn it over with my scissors. You can do it with the trimmer, the Fiskars trimmer, if you want to. One thing is you want to kind of make sure you don't cut into the white daisy, the card base, because then it makes it kind of, you know what, I can already see on this pink, I don't have enough tape. Because then you can tell that it's, I don't know what the word is, but like it's not a straight edge. Like I think what I just did right there. It's not too bad. I might go through and cut that afterwards. This is one of the reasons why when I'm doing the adhesive, I try to just go from the piece that I know is going to hit the card to the next piece and not do the whole strip, because now some of these would have adhesive on it. Okay. Now I can see here, I don't know if you can see, I feel like I didn't cut straight here. So let's just try and, well, you know what? I'm going to wait until the very end. Let's try and wait till the very end. And here's where you want to make sure that you kind of got, you know, some adhesive all the way. Because see, that piece wasn't taped down. Okay. Now we just need a couple more, and then you can just go back and add a couple pieces. Okay, I don't like those purples together. Okay, again, I'm just trying to eyeball it. So I'm gonna go from pink to green. Okay, line it up. And then when you get to the last one, I mean, it might be the last one. There may be another little one in the corner. You have to kind of just figure out what looks the best. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now let's okay, the purple, I didn't get in that little corner, which is where it's going to be. There we go. Okay. Now let's do the top piece. Okay, I can already see that that's not taped down very well. Okay. Now let's do this piece. I don't like those ones. And you want to find ones that are in a different order. See, that's too close. Okay, I like it, that one. I'm going to go pink to mist. I guess it's orange. Did I say pink to mist? It's orange to mist. And then I think I'm going to need one here on the corner. I'm going to do the desert rose. Okay. It did not stick there. Okay, the desert rose. Okay, now cut these pieces. I can already see them. I red. This little red. See these little pieces? You really. It might be better if you maybe took a little glue dot on these. Or not glue dot, but glue. There. Okay, now let's cut these. Just trim off the excess. And so you can see I still have kind of 2 strips left. You know, even I would even maybe save that one. Okay. And you want to pay close attention to these ones on the edge. Okay, let's get these out of the way. And so you can see on the corners here, or on the edges, they don't look quite straight. So I am going to trim them a little bit. Like we're talking as small as you can get. See, this one's not. Small as you can get without making it, I don't know what the word is, but like gum up. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here. I might have to do a little piece of glue like I was saying. These are the pieces that are going to be the trouble, is like these really little teeny. But if you don't have them, it doesn't look right. So, okay. Oh, now the green one fell off. Okay. This is why you got to be really careful to try and get it from edge to edge. There must not be any adhesive there because it's not staying on. I think I am going to get some glue. Okay. I put like a super tiny dot here of liquid glass. If I can get a tiny bit to come out. There we go. Okay. Okay. And I'm not sure how I'm feeling about the top, if I need to trim that top. Let's see. If I do, it might, I trimmed off a lot, so I wouldn't have to worry about that little red piece. Okay, so it's straighter now. Okay, now all we have to do is, this is a piece that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm gonna put, you don't have to, you can leave it white, but since we have, this is the background's white, I think it looks better if you have some kind of color on your mat, you know, on the card front. Okay, and then we're just going to tape this down. Another thing you could do is, instead of using the acetate, you can use just use white daisy, and you won't be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there. And then I already have something stamped. This is "The world needs more people like you." This is a great stamp. It's a small stamp, but it's perfect for these circles. And then I'm not going to pop it up. You could pop it up. I'm not going to pop it up because usually I use these kind of cards when I send my prizes. So I don't like to pop up because I add, you know, prizes inside there. Okay. So this is, you know, similar to this card, but you can see the difference between doing a 1/4 inch in between and doing like an 1/8 inch between. Okay. This one I used a 1/4 inch between two. So these two are the same. Okay. Let's try. I want to try this other one. I want to try it on the black. Okay. And let's use these daisy ones, daisy, and let's try and go kind of fast. I'm going to start with a pattern one at the top. I just want to say, I haven't ever done one on cardstock. But I really wanted to show you, at least I'll show you maybe how to make this strip. So it's a little bit easier, I think, than doing it on the acetate. But what's neat about the acetate is, I mean, you don't really see it, and so it really does look like you put those squares down, you know, right onto the card. When I saw Laura's card, I sat there and looked for a really long time, and I was like, did she sit there and place all of those squares on there? And they looked so, you know, so perfect. So I was really kind of amazed. And then everybody asked her to do a demo video, and then I saw, and I'm like, oh, that's so easy. And now it makes so much more sense. Okay, let's see. I don't want to spend too much time thinking about it because I'm trying to do it fast for you. I am trying to get all of the pattern pieces down because I think that looks really good. I like the solid cardstock, but with the pattern, I think it's really pretty too. I think it gives a little bit of a different look. I don't know if Vicky was on here, but I know she said she was going to try and do it on solid cardstock. But I think since the Daisy has black in the, you know, some of the papers, I think the black background's going to look amazing. Now this one is 12 inches, so we're going to probably use a few more strips. Again, I'm going to turn it so you can see. once you get the technique down, you can see how fast this one's going to come together, I think. This one looks a little bit askew. And I am trying to make sure that I have all of the designs and I'm not repeating. Okay, there we go. So let's cut these into strips. And it's going to be a lot easier to tape, on the back, because I don't have to worry about the tape showing through. Okay, here's one. Here's two. Three. One other thing I wanted to mention is you could also, when you put these down, when I put the 1/4-inch strips down, you could put a couple of them on foam tape. Pop them up. I thought that would be kind of cool, right? Like, if you had put the hot pink like up on foam tape, like this one will be popped up, this one. So it would be, I thought it would be kind of cute. Okay, so if you do this on black paper, you're going to want to put it on the same, I'm going to put it on black cardstock. That way, the pieces that are going this way and the spaces that we put between the strips are going to be the same color. Let me get a white sheet of paper to put down here so you can see better. Okay, so this one, let's just watch how easy this is. It's going to be so easy. I'll just start here. Flip it around a little bit. I'm going to go from there to the pink to there. This one's a little bit harder to tell where you're, I think what I'm going to do is start here and then go all the way to the edge. Oh gosh, don't tell me this is. Okay, there we go. Wow, I love it on this black. Doesn't that make it pop out? Amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go from here down. I really like it on this black. I knew it would look good. And they still look like they're floating. Okay, let's do this one. I'm going to go from here down. So good. I'm in love with this one. This is going to be my favorite. I can already tell. Let's see. You'll get kind of good about, flipping them around so that they're not, you don't want to have too many of the same design on a specific row. Okay, let's see. Okay. from here down. I could see this being done on like a hot pink or something. Wouldn't, like, having the really bright backgrounds, I think would be really, really fun. Okay. Okay, let's trim this up. Who likes it on the black like this? So again, you don't have to have acetate. I think the acetate makes it look a little bit more like it's floating, but we'll see. Like I said, I haven't done it on the black or on a colored cardstock, so it may look just as good. It's definitely easier. You don't have to worry about the tape showing through. And truthfully, you don't have to worry about the tape showing through. Anyway, that's just me. I'm just a little bit, like, since I know it's there, it bothers me. Okay, just a couple more. And that's why I think that, you know, if you do the 3-inch strip, it's pretty much perfect for a card base like this. So that's what I would recommend. But like I said, you can do smaller, bigger pieces, and then you'll have more. You know, you have more strips that you can kind of play around with. Okay. Green there, and then I think I need one little one here. I'm going to do this one. Okay. Getting little pieces all over me, sticking to everything, just because I'm trying to go fast for you. And then you can trim it, if, like I said, if you want, if you don't think that they're straight. And if you do feel like you have to trim it more, then maybe you want to make it, you know, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then trim it. Like, I am gonna trim this one because going fast, I obviously did not do a great job. And I can see how this little piece came off. Hold on, there it is. This is one I'm going to put a little bit of the glue down again. It's the really small pieces right on the corners like this and you can decide that it doesn't bother you to not have something. The glue is, you know me, the bane of my existence is this liquid glass. Okay, it's coming out now. Just put a little dot right there. You could use like Tombow glue, the green glue. There we go. I feel like this top is not straight. Okay, and then let's try this one too. Okay, there, now that's really nice. And I already have this ready. I'm going to put this, uh-oh, got another little piece right here. I don't know what I do to my glue that it just doesn't like me. Okay, looks like there's enough there. I don't know if you can see this piece is flipped over there. There we go. Okay, now let's tape this down onto the, I've got flamingo. I thought that would be a nice contrast. Actually, I really don't like how I did that. Put it onto the flamingo. And then I'm going to put this onto the card base. Okay, there we go. And then I've got this flower. Is there a white? I thought there was a white. There's a smaller white one. I'm gonna pop this one up. And I do have some leaves, so I'm just gonna put some leaves. So tell me, is this how you thought it was going to be made? Are you gonna try it? And if you go a little bit slower than what I did, it might look a little neater. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to use this here. Normally I wouldn't do it right on top of my Versamat, but okay. Then I'll put this right here. Popped it up a little bit. You could put a sentiment or something if you want to, but I think I'll put a sentiment inside. Okay, I love it on the black. Who loves it on the black? Okay, so here are my samples, just to give you some ideas. Yeah, I think the black really makes it pop. So I'm glad we tried it. And then the thing about it is you can't see the black that was on the strips and then the black that's the background. It looks all one, right? One piece. It looks like you individually placed those squares. I think the same thing on this one. If you had done the strips on like a 3-inch strip of white and then placed it on the white daisy background, you would not see that, right? Because like if you feel this, you can see that this black that's between these two things is a little bit higher than the black that's here, because this here is the card base, and then this between is that strip that you put your colored strips on. So, but you can't tell. You can't tell that there's 2 layers there. Yeah, I like the black better too. I'm glad we tried it because I hadn't tried it yet. This is the original technique on the acetate. I have seen people do it on white daisy, although this is not. This is done on acetate too. I don't know if you can see it. Right, you can see the acetate. All of these are done on acetate. This is the only one that I did on cardstock. And I think I like that better because it's easier for me to control the tape, right? You don't have to worry about getting it just on the squares. But this does look good too. I want to give a shout out to our paper. Our cardstock is so great. We've got so many colors, and the cardstock is 2-sided, right? There's a dark and a light side, and so that's even more colors. So really you can get some nice colors going here. But you can also see how using a paper pack makes it amazing too. And you can just use stickers. Like these 2 are stickers. These 2 I stamped. So you don't have to be a stamper either. Okay. Oh, and you can see my big mess here. I'll clean it up. Next, I want to pick a winner for the sketch challenge. If you're new to my group, in my group, and on the Facebook page, so on Crafty Chemist Designs and the Crafty Chemist Presents CTMH, I post a sketch every week. And if you make artwork using that sketch and post it on, in a comment under that post, I put your name on the wheel, and then I send the winner a prize, whoever the wheel picks. Okay, this week it was a scrapbook layout. Next week it will be a card. So thanks to Dawn, Julie, Danielle, Diana, Michelle D, and Mo for posting artwork, and your names are on the wheel. So let's give it a spin. Danielle, you won. Congratulations. I think I have your address. If I don't have your address, please send it to me and I'll send you a prize. Okay? Next week, I am going to do a heritage scrapbook layout. I love these stamp sets, the stamp set. I'm just amazed by. So, and I'm using the mix-in papers. And I also used a little bit of gilt spray. So, this is what I'm going to be making next Sunday. Okay? So, keep an eye out in the group and on the Facebook page for next week's sketch challenge. And I hope to see you next week for the heritage layout. And truthfully, it doesn't have to be a heritage layout. It's a nice layout too. If you don't have heritage pages, it's still perfect for other pictures too. So thanks for joining me. I hope you have a happy Mother's Day and have a good night. See you next week. Bye.